Eden Memorial Chapels understands Jewish funerals can take many forms. Some are very Orthodox, while others are more conservative or of a Reformed nature. There's no one better in New York or New Jersey. Go to EdenMemorial.com.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And we continue now talking about developments in the Middle East. Big ones today with Israel taking out the leader of Hamas. All of this happening, by the way, think about all the things they've done just in the last year. It's been extraordinary. Some people are calling it the greatest counterterrorism effort in world history when they took out all the Hamas leaders and Hezbollah. And joining us now is the former Deputy National Security Advisor under President Trump, KT McFarland. It's Rita Cosby. John is en route to the Al Smith dinner. And we also have with us Ed Cox, Governor Patterson, and of course, Judge Richard Weinberg. KT, this is an enormous deal. And for to see Biden and Kamala Harris taking victory laps today, give me a break.
So a few months ago, President Biden was telling the Israelis publicly, don't go into Rafah. Don't do this, or we're going to stop our weapons resupply to Israel. And Israel, ignored him. And of course, where did Yahya Sinwar get assassinated? In Rafah. So if the Israelis had listened to Biden, whether it was on Hamas or Hezbollah, they wouldn't be where they are now. And where they are now is they have now taken out all of the senior leaders of all of the major proxy terrorist armies fighting against them. Whether it's Hezbollah or Hamas, they're dead.
KT, it's Richard Weinberg. Good to talk to you again.
Hi.
So what do they do now, since they've also been told not to go after Iran, not to go after their nuclear sites, not to go after their oil facilities? What do the Israelis do now? And they've also been threatened again about not getting military supplies.
Here's the thing. Israel's got a big decision to make. Do they just stop now and say, okay, we got rid of Hezbollah, we got rid of Hamas, we haven't gotten rid of Iran, we haven't degraded Iran in any way? Do we just sort of sit tight and wait, maybe see what happens in the November elections? Or do we continue to press? The thing is that now that they've taken out the senior leadership, they've decimated Hezbollah and Hamas. They've decapitated them. They've decimated them. They're not a potent military force in any way. So why should Israel wait? Why let them rebuild? This is when Iran is the most naked and vulnerable. Perhaps Israel should go and, Israel will retaliate for the latest Iranian missile strikes, but where do they retaliate? Do they only go against military targets, which is what the Biden administration wants? Or do they go against perhaps the oil fields? Do they take those out? Do they even go after the nuclear sites? Remember, Iran now has no real air defense, so Israel can kind of do whatever Israel wants to do.
How worried, KT, should the supreme leader be? We always talk about this. John makes the joke of he's going to worry about going to the bathroom, that there might be like a bomb in the toilet. But he's got to be worried now,
Don't laugh. The blackmail that Iran has had over Israel and really the world is to say, you come after Iran in any way and we're going to destroy Israel because we have the proxies with Hezbollah, Hamas, we have missiles, we're going to just take Israel off the face of the earth. Well, that threat's gone because there is no Hamas, there is no Hezbollah. So what if you're an Iranian leader, just think about it. John makes a kind of funny point, but it's a real point because some of the senior leaders of Hezbollah were assassinated within blocks of where the mullahs live, in guest houses provided by the Iranian intelligence. So Iran, and then most recently, it turns out that the head of the unit that Iran had set up to ferret out and find Mossad agents in Iran, well, it turns out the head of that unit was a sleeper agent for Mossad. So if you're the Iranian senior leadership, you've got to really worry, how big is this penetration? How much is Mossad in our intelligence and security services? And, by the way, do they have my address?
Yeah, absolutely. Judge Weinberg, before we go, you have a question with KT about North Korea.
KT, I pick up the Wall Street Journal today, and I see that North Korea is allegedly sending troops to support Russia in their invasion of Ukraine. What do you make of that?
Well, this is the new axis of evil. It's Iran and North Korea as junior partners to Russia and China. They're swapping weapons back and forth. They're swapping fighters back and forth. They're getting battlefield experience. And they are now an alliance that the West has to face. Do we back down? Do we challenge them? So far, the Biden administration's approach has been, well, if we don't get them too upset with us, they're not going to come after us. And yet that's been shown, whether it's with Putin and Ukraine or whether it's been with Iran and Israel or even with China and Taiwan, that appeasement just doesn't work. You've got to stand up to them.
Yeah, that is the lesson. And hopefully this White House wakes up at some point. It's incredible as we're seeing what's going on all around the globe. KT, thank you very, very much. Thanks for being here, KT.